Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of EdgeMasterGaming, where today I'm going to be covering the latest weapon to join the ever-growing weapon roster to Project Lazarus, the RPG-7. You guys can probably tell that I'm a bit under the weather, but I'll be okay. Also, I know that it's been some time since I did any videos on my channel. I just really needed to take a break. And what better time to make a video but during a Project Lazarus update. As always, Logitech is continuing to update this game in the best way he can. In this case, he's implemented more bug fixes, custom scoreboard, and a minor modification to the research map amongst other things. But of course, before we get started, please don't hesitate to hit that like button if you enjoyed the Lazarus content on this channel, and definitely please consider subscribing. And now, without further ado, let's get started. First up is a new rocket launcher, the RPG-7, that's been added to the mystery box. Right out of the box, it comes with one RPG loaded, has 20 in the reserves, and can one-shot until round 34. One thing that I've noticed is that while using this weapon, it doesn't hinder your movement speed like I thought it would, and reloading isn't too bad as well. However, because you can only fire once before reloading, it's best to use it on a horde instead of one or two like you see here. Also, just like the Carl Gustav M2 launcher, firing at zombies up close will disorient your character, so ensure you're firing from a safe distance as much as you can. And lastly, make sure to use it in a very open area to ensure your escape is possible should any of the zombies survive the blast. The packed version of this weapon, Revelation, also holds one RPG at the ready and has 63 in reserves. It carries the Doomsayer module, which consumes ammo to gain stacks of Armageddon over time, empowering the next warhead. So what does that mean exactly? Because you now wield the Revelation, it will begin to consume your ammo reserves over time, making the warhead that you have even more powerful. As it consumes the reserves, you'll note that the Armageddon count will get higher. It can increase up to 7 times. So when it comes time to use the warhead, this is what happens. Doing some math, if you were to max out every shot, you would only have 9 shots available to you. And that is, of course, without a max ammo. But here it is again in action. After using this weapon for a few rounds, I firmly believe that it is possible to use this as a primary until early 40s. You just have to make sure that you're rounding up the horde to hit multiple targets like I did. That is, if you want it to be effective. I also think that this would be a great assist weapon on teams up until about round 45 to 50, which is where you'll begin to notice that it will wane in damage. And one final thing is that ammo reserves can be consumed even when the weapon isn't equipped, which I find very useful. So as long as you have the weapon in your inventory, you can switch to whatever you want and come back with it at max Armageddon. Next up on the list is the Whizzbanger. The hammer gun, if you remember, was an April Fool's joke that has now been moved under a new Easter egg classification. Basically, it has been taken out of the regular pool rotation in the mystery box and is now an ever rarer item to get. So because I missed the video showing the release of this weapon on April Fool's of this year, I feel like I kinda owe it to you guys to show you just how rare this weapon actually is now to obtain. So the plan is to go with a packed loadout of the K1A, Abacan, and Ravika, just until I get 100,000 in points, at which time I'll attempt to get the Whizzbanger. Now during this journey, I was able to check off other items that I wanted to share from this update, like for instance, the computer consoles in the testing chamber now have visually functioning gauges and sliders. Each gauge corresponds to one of the computer consoles and can be used to quickly determine which one has been interacted with. Alright, so anytime that you press one of the DEFCON panels, you can see here that the corresponding computer gauge needle will move to the right. Every panel has a similar gauge next to it. The easiest way to remember where each of these are is that the top 2 are for the top of the chamber, where this is by Mule Kick, and the bottom 2 are at the bottom of the chamber, where this one is by the tunnel for the lab. I really hope that makes sense. Another item that was just updated was the new custom scoreboard that now replaces the default Roblox player list. So if you press tab, you'll see the new scoreboard, which is very cool. The only issue that I have with this is if you decide to go for a world record like headshots only, you'll continuously have to press tab to check your status. It would be great if this custom layout was like, say, I don't know, optional. And by the way, the current world record for headshots was just updated to 3015 on research. I actually have a new world record on this and will be submitting it shortly after this video has been uploaded. I won't be providing any tips on how to beat it since I've done this already, but if you guys can support the video, I would greatly appreciate it. And the last item that I want to cover while I was trying my hardest to get the Whizzbanger, the Frostbite lighting effect has been updated from red to cyan. This was done to prevent any type of confusion over getting Frostbite versus a Joker, and this is what that looks like here. Alright, getting back to my quest on getting the Whizzbanger. My first attempt started at round 26 using over 100,000 points. While I was successful in getting the ray gun and Frostbite, trying to obtain the Whizzbanger was a bust. Attempt number 2. Attempt number 2 happened at round 49 with over 175,000 points. Now, because I didn't have the best of luck initially, I felt like maybe getting the Easter egg would help me out in some way. What I must say is before that happened, I didn't see the Whizzbanger at all. However, afterwards, the Whizzbanger began showing up in the mystery box pool regularly. Maybe the proper term here shouldn't be regularly, but maybe I should just leave it at it did show up. Attempt number 3. Attempt number 3 happened on round 58, and this time I had 62,000 points. They usually say that third time's the charm, and fortunately for me, that saying held true. On the last and final attempt to get it, I had to use almost 350,000 points to get this thing. And from that, I can truly say, folks, that this gun is extremely rare. It was weird though. I just happened to trigger the Easter egg a second time, and just like the previous attempt, I didn't start seeing the Whizzbanger until afterwards. I feel that these were probably pure coincidences, but if anyone has any insight on this, please let me know. One other thought before I wrap up this video, guys. You may have noticed that throughout this process, I have all 5 perks, which means that the glitch still works. So if you haven't checked out my 5 perk glitch video, you can click the link in the corner to learn how to do that today. Anyways guys, for a complete list of updates that were performed on Project Lazarus this time around, please see the Discord at the link in the description below. Also, for more information on the Whizzbanger update, there should be a link to that video coming up shortly. And as always guys, remember to have fun, take care, and God bless.